Hello, this is Success. How may I help you?
First, Sean, I want you to introduce yourself and what exactly it is that you do.
All right. Can I ask first what it is that you think I do?
Okay, so what I think you do is do motivational speaking, motivational videos, and do kind of like self-helping coaching and
Hmm.
just help people find themselves or help people find something within themselves to help carry themselves.
Okay, yeah. Then you got it down. So,
Okay.
introduce myself, right? My name is Sean Buranahiran. I am Thai, but I was born in California.
Okay.
Uh, so born and raised there until about 24, and then I moved to Thailand about 4 years ago. Yeah, I think 23, 24. I moved around here,
Okay.
and yeah, and then I've been here ever since.
All right, cool.
Yeah, and I do basically I just consider myself like a social media influencer. I tell stories online, um, things that I've learned, I've read or heard from mentors, and I just share what I found useful from my life to other people. Kind of similar to what you do. I see you make videos.
Yeah. I actually finding you, my friend has been sending me videos, my brother's friend, because I've been like doing a bunch of stuff, and so he sent me you, and I was like, "Yo, who is this person? Like, their content is awesome." And so I was like, "What's his Instagram handle?" And somebody messaged me, and so I just messaged you, and it was a video with the stone. I thought that was amazing, like
Yeah.
so true.
Yeah, man, that story's amazing.
Yeah,
I that story in India in like minus degree weather.
yeah.
It was pretty awesome.
So, my next question for you, Sean, is what exactly is your story and how did you get to where you are today? Because it's very interesting, all of the stories that you've accumulated and all, I'm assuming a lot of people that you met, but like, what like initiated you to start that?
Okay. Well, I went to a school in West Covina, California.
Okay.
At, uh, at a young age, they taught about, Martin Luther King and Gandhi.
Okay.
You know those guys?
Yeah.
So it was about the same time that when you're a kid, you find out about death, right? So then
Yeah.
I don't know about other people, but I was pretty sad. And, I was wondering why are we born and then why do we die? Like just to die. So then at the same time, I was studying about these two people, Martin Luther King and Gandhi.
Okay.
And I just saw what they did with their lives. And I wanted to, I was inspired at a young age. And I thought that, okay, we're here to live our lives to help other people and better the world. So at a
Yeah.
young age, I gave that meaning to my life. I didn't know how I would do it or if I would even do it.
Yeah.
Um, so fast forward like many years later, I just realized that if you want to give a speech, if you want to influence society, you have to have a name in society. So basically, you have to be famous, right? So but that's not true. That's totally not true now. Because I started helping people, and then my name came from that.
Yeah.
Uh, kind of like all of them, Gandhi and Martin Luther King. But some people have this misconception that you have to be famous first to help people.
No.
But that's what I thought when I was young. I thought if people were to listen to me, I have to become a famous person in sports, in music, or in acting.
Yeah.
So my first goal at 16 years old was to become a Muay Thai fighter because I had some relatives that taught me how to do it. Basically, I was bullied in school. I was like one of the only Asian kids in my area,
All right.
and so I had to learn how to fight Muay Thai. And yeah, I got pretty good at it. So at 16, I decided, okay, how about I just go compete and become a famous Muay Thai fighter, and then I'll give speeches or like I'll say inspirational things to people.
Yeah.
What happened after that was I got into a smoker fight, which is like an amateur fight when you wear gear, and I knocked the guy down, like I head kicked him and he went down. But before that, he uppercutted me. He hit me like in the back of the head, and even though I won the fight, I forgot that I won the fight. I remember leaving the ring saying, "Where am I?" And my friends were like in shock, and I was like, "What the fuck just happened?" And I went to the doctor, and then they said, I got a concussion, and for that whole week, I kind of spoke with a stutter. I would say, what round did I win, right?
Yeah.
So I realized this is not the path. So anyway, I still wanted to go, but I would get headaches all the time. Like driving, hit a speed bump, I'd get a headache. So I knew I had to take a break from training. So what happened was my friend had a restaurant.
Okay.
And there was a couple arguing outside. I was about 18, 19 at the time.
Yeah.
And I went out to help, because it's my friend's restaurant. So I stopped the fight and stopped the argument because the guy was like pulling on the girl's like arm and not letting her go.
Yeah.
So I stopped it, but the guy swung on me. So I ended up, throwing some kicks and elbowing him in the face. And then that moment I realized that I shouldn't elbow anyone in the face because like his eyes rolled to the back of his head. And I just remembered seeing like it in slow motion that this guy it seems like he's dead. After that, my friend ran. Do you can you teach me how to do that stuff? So I would train him, and at the end he would show me his music. He would make hip hop music.
Cool.
So and I wrote poetry at the time. So he said rap is rhythm and poetry. So he's like just put some instrumentals behind your poetry, and it becomes rap. So then I started making music at the time. Anything that was able to help me build a name for myself, I went for it. So first it went to fighting. Fighting went to music. I did music for YouTube. Like did covers on YouTube, remixes, and I think 100,000 views. I did like covers of Drake and Lil Wayne. So then at about 19 years old, I went to, I sent out my videos to some record labels in Thailand.
Okay.
That did hip hop music. There was only 2 or 3 at the time. Now there's so many.
Yeah.
But at that time there was very little. So I sent my music out there, and then they said, yeah, let's collaborate. So we collaborated. I went to Thailand at about 19 or 20, 21, around that time frame.
Okay.
And just made music with them. And just to make this, do you want the long version or you want a shorter version?
Keep going, you're good.
Okay. So, but basically, I made music with them, and it was, there's this guy named Il Slick that, at that time, millions of views, like 30 million views, 100 million views, that wasn't normal at that time.
Okay.
So I got to be in his record label, and we actually did like 2 songs together. But at that time, I was building a good following, not only like a couple thousand,
Okay.
And I went to play at a restaurant with adults, and I just felt sad that I was worried that I don't want to give them a headache. So I chose to do like a cover or a remix of this song, like I want to be a billionaire. So been bad. So, and it's a pretty light song, right? It's not hardcore rap. So I did that song. And one of the adults in the audience was the owner of a production company that, made movies and TV series in Thailand.
Okay.
Yeah. So I almost didn't perform, which is the crazy thing. I was afraid, but I just ended up doing one song, and I caught the attention of a production company, and they invited me to do some acting with them.
That's awesome.
At that time, I talked to my record label, and they told me not to, of course, because they want me to make music.
Yeah.
So I listened to them, right? I listened to them for a while, and then something happened where it didn't work out later for many months, but there's like a pretty crazy story about the transition of how I left, but I could save that for another time.
All right.
So I went back to. I had to go back to LA. Went back to LA. Some of my friends wanted me to be in their short films. So some of my friends at UCLA, at New York Film Academy, they asked me to help act in their films. Like one of them, I was like a gangster with a machete because I know how to use swords. Okay. And a lot of them, like they were saying that, hey, you should really try to get into this because they saw I had potential. Yeah. So then I thought about, there's a lady, a company in Thailand that wants me to do acting. How about I contact them? Yeah. So I tried to get the contact from my record label, and then they were like, no, we're not going to give you the contact. Unless, you come, speak with us and make music for us, and you could do that. And so they were, blocking my connection to that. I don't blame them for that, I'm not mad at them. No, yeah. After that, the weirdest thing happened. So my dad works at a casino. Okay. And there was this, there's this Thai guy that would always come in that looked really poor. Yeah. And my dad felt sorry for him, but he saw that, okay, we're two foreigners from the same country in a different country, so he offered him food. Yeah. It turned out that guy was like a billionaire. And then my dad, he didn't know, and he became good friends with my dad because he saw that this guy, my dad, has a good heart. Yeah. And he's to help people that are poor. So he decided, I'm going to be friends with this guy. That's cool. So one day I met this guy, and this I can't say his name. Yeah. He was at a casino, and but in the Thai culture, casinos are bad. It's illegal in Thailand. Okay. So this guy sent me to actually meet that woman I was trying to meet because he knows everybody. He knows everybody in Thailand, or at least everybody in Thailand knows him. Okay. So it's so crazy that, I ended up going back to Thailand because my dad wanted to give food to a guy. Yeah. Thai. Yeah. So I came back to Thailand and I started doing acting. I did sword fighting, and at that time, it was very fun. I enjoyed, fighting, but from filming, some days you wait all day and film and don't even film. Yeah. And I realized that this is kind of like wasting my time. I was you're supposed to wait if you're going to be in the entertainment industry. Your mindset has to be that they're paying you to wait. Yeah. And be on standby, which I don't mind. Yeah. But it just wasn't for me. And so what happened was I got paid $1,000 for this role, and I used that $1,000 and I took a content marketing course, right? Content marketing course.
Okay.
Like all my money just bam on one thing.
Yeah.
So they taught me about making content online. It has to be, you know, content that you like, that you enjoy, and at first, you know, I didn't know that philosophy or, you know, ideas would actually go viral like that. So I was doing trial and error, you know, making videos that no one would watch, you know, and it gradually grew from like 50 to 100 to 1,000, 10,000. It didn't happen like an overnight success thing. I just kept making videos that didn't work, and they started to work. My first video that went 100,000 views was when I was talking about the secret and how it changed my life and how I used it. You know, how I used it to do fighting, to use Muay Thai, how I used it to make music and acting.
Yeah.
And how, so I shared that. And that was because I answered a question in my inbox. Someone asked me about it. And then I realized I should just answer questions from my inbox.
Yeah.
So then that's basically how it started. But the thing I left out was there was my girlfriend was the one that encouraged me to make videos online, because I did have a limiting belief, a limiting mindset of, if I'm going to help people, I have to be famous, I have to be older, more experienced.
Yeah.
So those are two deadly ones already. So she said, you don't really have to be famous. And then she's like, you don't have to be older. You just share what you learn to people that are younger than you now.
Yeah.
So the reason why I was able to make videos was because my girlfriend was like encouraging me, supporting me the whole time to do it, and helping me give me confidence to do it. Kind of like Henry Ford. Like there's a story of him not feeling confident to make cars, but his wife kept giving him encouragement to do it.
That's awesome, dude.
The first videos were in Thai. And one day she said, hey, you speak English, like that's your native language. Why don't you just make videos? Why don't you make some videos in English?
Yeah.
And she gave me the encouragement to do that as well. So I did it, and then made videos, and it went as far as some Hollywood actors like, Lindsay Lohan, or even some rappers like P. Diddy.
Okay.
And the Crown Prince of Dubai started sharing my videos, and
awesome.
I got with Jay Shetty. I met like a bunch of people after doing videos. Yeah. Now I'm here with you, Jordan.
Dude, that's insane. Like, it's so funny though also how like you meeting those people, them reaching out to you is like, it can also go the other way. Like me reaching out to you, I feel like a lot of people feel like it would be like, I guarantee you there's people that have watched a ton of your videos, right? And they're like, I really want to talk to Sean, but I guarantee you like he would never talk to me. And literally like I watched one of your videos and within 2 minutes I DM'd you and you're like, okay, what's up? Like, let's get a podcast.
That's cool, man. I do that too. So yeah, really, really cool that you did that.
So my next question is, going through your story and going from mixed martial arts, correct? Or
just Muay Thai.
Muay Thai, okay. Muay Thai to acting to singing, like going through all of this stuff, like what do you think your greatest struggle was, like going into doing eventually inspirational speaking and influencing? And
my greatest struggle, like what? Transitioning to making videos online?
So it could be transitioning to making videos online, but it might have just been in general in life, like to just get you to the point where you felt you were okay with doing this or okay with being yourself and putting this out.
I see. The biggest struggle, huh? There's a lot. The first one off the top of my head, I guess the financial struggle. I mean, there's not a lot of money when you're, making music or fighting. Unless, you're at the top. So that was pretty hard. The other one was, one thing that I had to do was doing acting was I had to learn Thai. That was like the hardest thing for me. I had to learn a completely new language, but started to read and write and then read and then speak. I would wake up every morning and read. Breakfast while reading, and then I would work out and then eat lunch and then read, and then I would read until I would get a headache. Like I couldn't look at books anymore. For at least half a year, reading and writing, practicing reading out loud. And what happened was I started buying audiobooks instead of just reading and just repeating what the Thai person was saying. So that was a big struggle, but at that time it didn't feel like I was struggling. It felt fun, like I was chasing my dreams, But before and another one, I guess, was the feeling of the feeling of what my family thinks of me, because I was the only one in my whole cousins and aunts. It's that didn't graduate from college. I went to college, but I asked for a year off or 2 years off to pursue my passion first, and if I fit, I'll go back. So that's a good technique for anyone that is pursuing their dreams, wants to try something. Ask your parents for a year or 2 years off, and then by the end, and then just tell them I'll do whatever you want after that 1 year, right? And but at the end of that year, you'll have results for them to see, and might even let you keep going. That's kind of what happened with me. But one of the hardest things to do was whenever I thought about, what is my dad thinking of me, or what is my aunts and uncles or cousins, and what is everyone thinking of me? They look down on me for sure, but they're thinking I'm going the wrong way. And just meeting adults or meeting other people that no one believed in me at that time. But once you show them results, then they praise you. Like all my family, they praise me now, and then they ask me for advice. But and I'm not mad at them for what they thought, because I was a pretty bad kid at that time. I would fight a lot. I moved schools a couple times because I would get bullied, but I knew how to fight Muay Thai, so I kind of just got moved schools a bunch of times. And I could understand why they didn't believe in me, and they thought I wouldn't make anything of my life. But that was the biggest struggle, the opinions of others.
How do you think you overcame that? I know eventually getting the success helped you overcame that, but I feel like that's something as soon as you get success, you're okay, I can ignore the rest of the people now because I have it. But going into trying to figure that out, what do you think helped you overcome it?
What helped me overcome that was it's really hard, but I listen to motivational videos every morning, almost all day. When I would read when I woke up, shower yourself. They say motivation, inspiration is like showering. You have to do it every day. You don't just do it once and then you're set for the month. You got to shower every day. You got to listen to inspiration, motivation every day. That's why it's so good that you post a video every day.
That's
so. So I downloaded the music, put it on my iPod. My iPhone, and exercise and listen to music, and then sometimes it would come on, and I would listen to Les Brown. The people the one that made me cry every time was the Chinese bamboo tree, where he says it takes 5 years for this bamboo tree to grow, but during that 5 years, you don't see anything grow. You don't see results from your efforts.
Yeah.
But in 5 years, it will just come out of the ground and grow 60 or 80 feet in 6 weeks. And he says that's like success. So I would listen to that every day. And there would be days I'd listen to that and cry because it's like, I'm not seeing anything, I'm not seeing any results. But it gave me hope. So one thing was listening to inspirational videos, downloading them, and listening to them often. That was one. The other one was I didn't have a support group around me until I met my girlfriend.
Okay.
But before her, I would just listen to successful podcasts, Joe Rogan podcasts.
Yeah.
Like they say the quality of your thoughts, the average of your income is based about the 5 people around you, right?
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, I don't have quality people around me, but there's quality people online that I could listen to all day, every day. And, Elliot Hulse, Joe Rogan, Jim Rohn, all of those people I'd listen to every day. They became like my best friends, and they would encourage me. So listening to successful people and podcasts and interviews, that helps me.
Okay.
Number 2. And the last one is feeling of I'm being judged by my elders and my family. It gave me fuel and fire to push harder. Like I once had someone tell me that like your Thai is so bad that you can't do acting here. So what that made me do was I was so angry, but at that time I was reading a book and I thought every time I thought of this guy and it angered me, I would read a chapter of the book. So every time I got angry, read right away. So I used the anger to fuel me to push harder and go towards my dreams. So it's a good fuel as well. Yeah, those are the 3 things I did to overcome that.
That's awesome.
These are good questions, by the way.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. So my next question is, with this being in your life, with like you switching from all of these different things, eventually getting to mindset and listening to all the motivation, and you, unlike some of the other people that I've talked to, actually being an inspirational speaker that's using mindset as a big thing, how big is mindset in your life, and like what is mindset to you, and how do you think it affects people?
I think mindset is everything. I think that's where you have to begin. Mindset first and then action later. I feel like you have to change the mindset. I think that's why some people they kind of like are against the secret and law of attraction. Like, oh, you think it, you believe it. But honestly, though, I think it's just a step. It's like, the first step is you actually just have to believe it, that you can accomplish it.
Yeah.
And once you believe it, like 100%, that's when you take really good action.
Yeah.
So I think when people say like, oh, the secret's bullshit, like it doesn't work because you have to take action, right? But they're not understanding that this is a step. You have to get the secret first. You have to believe it. You have to think about it all the time, attract it, like, and then you have this ability to take action better with more confidence.
Yeah.
I think mindset is everything, man. Yeah. In my book, there's actually 4 levels to this. I think the first one, it's 4 S's, right? It's self, right? Self, social, success, and spirituality.
Okay.
The first one, self, is about your mindset, self-improvement, self-development.
Yeah.
You do that. After that, you go out and meet people, so you need social skills. So I talk about how to place yourself at a table with successful people, or how to have certain mannerisms that will take you further, because manners will take you where money can't. Like that successful person, that billionaire.
Yeah.
money, he doesn't really care because he has money. But he liked my dad because my dad wanted to give him, like, offered him food. That is like kindness, you know. So I talk about that, like, in the book, how to, and my mentor, she kept me around because I in Thai it's called Wang Tua, but the way I carried myself was humble, was very helpful.
Okay.
So I talk about, you know, having certain social skills, right?
Yeah.
So self-development, social skills, and then after that is the mindset for success. So the third part of my book, I just talk about the consistency, the discipline. I talk about the 3 steps on changing your life is changing your location, is changing your destiny. Love comes from other people, so the more people you meet, the more opportunities arise. And the third one is preparing yourself, being prepared even if you don't have the opportunity. Because if an opportunity comes and you're not prepared and you perform the task wrong, they might not give you another chance.
Yeah.
Kind of like, I had an opportunity there was an actor in a scene that he couldn't use swords anymore. He like hurt himself.
Yeah.
So they asked me to step in for it. And at that time, it was me fighting like 12 dudes with 2 swords, 2-handed swords. And I over-prepared for my role. They just wanted me to learn one-handed sword and the basics.
Yeah.
But I so into it and I over-prepared. I knew how to fight 12 people with swords. And I with 2 swords, I learned from 3 different teachers. So as soon as that opportunity came, I rose to the occasion, and they were like happy, and what was it? They were shocked, and they put me in other scenes.
Yeah.
So the third one is preparing yourself even if you don't have the opportunity yet. And then the fourth part of my book is about spirituality, and that's about, you know, meditation. That's about going with the flow and things like that. So you asked me about mindset. Mindset is the very first part of my book, that you have to change your mindset first. Then you go and meet people, and then you start doing things to become successful. And then once you're successful, I see every successful person get into spirituality.
Yeah.
So that's basically a short summary of my book.
Okay, cool. So you were talking about mindset and like the law of attraction. And so like the way I feel about the law of attraction, how you said like you kind of got to put yourself first to take action, like make yourself believe that you can do it.
Yeah.
I feel like there is that stigma of like, oh, like I'm going to sit on the couch all day and think about it. Like that's not going to do anything. But I think it comes down to like the people that are actually successful using the law of attraction is they're so overwhelmed in thought of what's around them that they're doing whatever they can to put that stuff around them. And so like in the thinking of it, they're creating it and like they're taking action upon it. And another thing was you said something about how you need to think about it before you take action. And so a question for you, because this is a question that like I kind of talk to myself about a lot, is like, where do you think somebody is thinking about something so much that like it's just that they're thinking about it, like they need to stop and start taking action upon it?
I think thinking and visualizing, I think I meant to say visualizing, they're like 2 different things.
Yeah.
But I think if you visualize enough, you kind of like just automatically get off your ass and start doing it. Like when I was doing fighting Muay Thai, I visualized the win and visualized fighting and knocking out the guy. So, and my heart would start pumping, and then I would get this like urge to go train.
Yeah.
So to me, I feel like if you visualize, that action automatically comes. But if you're just thinking about it, you're not seeing the vision. You're just thinking, oh, yeah, I want to win this fight. Yeah, how do I do it? And then blah blah blah. I think that's not enough. You gotta like actually see it, feel it, just like what the book says. But if you're when you're thinking about taking action, I do have a good example of my life was before making videos, I would like write down like what videos I should make.
Yeah, same.
And eventually I didn't, I just kept thinking about it. I kept planning but not taking action.
Yeah.
One quote that held to me was, if we wait until we're ready, we'll be waiting for the rest of our lives. So basically, you'll never be ready. Yeah. I love that one, pushed me. And another one was, it was basically around, kind of like, if you have something good and you're not sharing it with other people, then you're being selfish. So that made me realize, like, okay, then I'm just thinking about myself. I'm just thinking about that I'm going to look weird or, but I'm not thinking about other people. So that helped me take action.
Yeah. That's something where, like, with me making the videos, a lot of the times I'll make the videos when we're traveling places with my family, because I like to kind of use, like, the environment as much as I can that I'm around in the different locations. And so, like, I'll be making something and there'll be, like, people walking by, and then, like, I'll kind of shut down, and then, like, I'll kind of have to, like, build up that courage to be like, okay, like, I'm in a tourist area where there's going to be people walking by, like, I have to do it sometime, and eventually it gets to the point where it's like, all right, I just waited for like 10 to 15 minutes, we're about to leave, and there's no time where people are stopping, so I'm just going to have to look stupid.
Yeah.
That's
like a Hollywood star video.
Yeah. Yeah, and like, there gets to a point where sometimes like my voice will get lower in some of the stuff, and then like other times like I'll be like, forget it, and I'll yell really loud, and then everyone looks at me crazy, and then I'm just like, all right, well, hopefully that video was good. I did it like 3 or 4 times, so.
Yeah, that's good. Three times is the good one, and usually for me it's always the first take that is the best video.
Yeah.
I saw you had a video, in California, and then also like people broke into your car.
Oh yeah, so that was very interesting. So we went to Alcatraz, right? You lived in California, so yeah. So we went to Alcatraz and we parked on the main street, and it was like 6 a.m. We put everything in the car because we were vacationing in California for Thanksgiving week, and so we drove from like California to Los Angeles. And from Los Angeles to Napa Valley, like we just kept driving all over the place to see like everything. And this was already like, we booked the vacation when we got there. This was when like the fires were going on. So there was like still clouds of smoke and ash. So like that's how when we first got there, like it wasn't too bad, but the air quality kind of sucked. So like that was like the first thing where I was like, okay, but I was like, whatever, I've never been to California. This is my dream. Like a little bit of smoke in the air is not going to stop me from feeling the way that I feel. And then, so the last day on the trip, we go to Alcatraz, we get back, we're about to go get something to eat and go see the Golden Gate Bridge again because like the smoke had kind of died down a little bit more. And so my dad goes to the car, which is literally like right across the street. We haven't heard from him in like 30 minutes. There's some lady was saying, like, starts talking to my dad and saying how like she'd pretend to like she was asleep on the bench because 2 guys had like a Mercedes, and they drove up, smashed the back of the window, and then started grabbing bags. And so they grabbed my laptop, or they grabbed my bag, which had my laptop, my GoPro, my wallet, my like everything in it. And like for me, like if you saw the video, like I was kind of mad, but at the same time I was kind of like more mad at myself because this had been the second time in 2 months that somebody had broken into like our car. But like the first time I had nothing in my bag, and this time like I left my bag in with everything. So like luckily I'm blessed enough where I have a mom that's like, here, like I'll put you first since you're my kid, and she gave me her laptop, and like we were waiting for the insurance to cover it, and now they said that like since it's not part of the car, they're not covering anything. now like none of that stuff is redeemable. And for me, like the most important thing was like now my mom doesn't have like a laptop because she gave me hers so that I can continue doing like my videos and doing everything. But like I feel so bad because of that. But
How long ago was this?
This was like probably like 3 weeks ago or like a month ago.
Wow. So it's kind of fresh.
Yeah.
You got a new camera yet?
The GoPro is like, honestly, I didn't use it as much to videotape, but I use my phone for most of the stuff, but I'm gonna get like an actual camera soon so that I can start, because like I like the podcast Skype call, and that's why I do video calls so I can do face to face, but I want to try to start working to make some more money so that I can do it like face to face instead of Skype call face to face.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But this is, you got to use whatever resources you have. You're on the right track, because my first videos, all of my viral videos in the beginning were with my phone.
Yeah.
Even though like I had access to like, you know, good cameras, but I felt that the homemade feel really worked at that time. You know, they felt closer to you.
Yeah. That's what I want to, and see, like, I want to do similar things. Like, for my videos, I still want to keep it the same. I just want a little bit of a better looking quality. Like, I still want to do them when I'm going places, like, not set up or do anything professional. Just have a tripod where I can set it and I can do it myself. And, like, I'm not ending upon needing other people for some of them while I'm standing. But just like, the podcast and stuff, I want it so like it kind of has more of that sit down look. Like I'll travel wherever that person is that they can take me at the time that they'll give me, sit down on the couch, put down the thing, and then just ask them the questions.
Yeah, that's good, man. The best way to grow your following, your channel and everything is collaborating, is interviewing. And there was a time that, let's say, I had 10,000 or like, it just kept going. And then eventually I saw someone else that did self-development with about the same amount of followers I did. And I just hit them up and I was like, hey, you want to collaborate? And I did that with everyone. And then my channel kept growing because I interviewed every single person I could get my hands on. And it was the quickest way to grow. It was like it's one of the best strategies, you know, I think for everything in life. Like you want to make more money, you do business, you get more business partners. You want to grow your YouTube, you collaborate with YouTubers. You want to grow your IG, you collaborate with Instagram people. And it's just I think working well with other people is really important.
Yeah. And like the other thing that I want to do with collaborations, if I can get people on the podcast, is eventually like, because everybody that I get on the podcast, I try to build relationships with. Like I now consider them like a friend, whether they do or not. I consider them a friend, and like I'm going to be supporting them all the way because like they've taken the time and given me the chance to let me talk. And I mean, not that I base myself based on my followers, but I only have like 1,000 people looking at me, which I still think is a huge perspective, of course. But like compared to like some of the stuff that you guys are doing, like you guys have a lot of people that are following you and a lot of videos and a lot of content, and you're taking the time out, which I really appreciate. But eventually I want to do also like, say we can meet up in person sometime or something like that. Okay, let's make like a video for Instagram. Let's figure out like what we can do or what kind of collaboration other than a podcast. Like, somebody's like a style person, which I watch a lot of style because I feel like looks also help you build your self-confidence. Like, you don't need the most expensive clothes, but you need to know like you need your clothes fitted. You need it, stuff like little things. They do something like that. Okay, let's go to the mall and make a video where like I pick out outfits for you, you pick out outfits for me, and like
that's a good idea.
Fun videos. Like little fun videos where it's like, okay, let's see what you do on your channel, let's see what you do, let's see how I can hop on and be like, okay, I want to challenge you because I see you do this every Wednesday. Let me and you let's see what we can do together, something like that.
Nice. one of the things that reasons I accepted your interview was because I watched your videos and you seemed really authentic. Like I think that's one of the biggest keys. Like that was why I started having followers, because they all said that in Thai it's a different word. It's called Jing Jai, which means basically like good heart, but good like a true heart. Like he's not faking. I'm not faking anything. Like the way I am on camera, that's how I am in real life. Yeah. And I kind of get that from you too. So then that's why I accepted the interview with you. So I think keep that authenticity. Yeah. You're not trying to speak in a way that you don't normally speak. You know, some people speak like super fast because they copy Gary Vee. Some people speak like super aggressive, you know, because they're copying like Dan Pena or like Grant Cardone. Yeah. But I think I did that in the beginning because I was modeling other people, but eventually you start to just be yourself, and I realized that I was a calm guy, kind of monotone. And I just realized, you know, there's a group of people that will accept you for the way you are. Yeah. And man, just the authenticity, man, that's what got me here. So I think that's what will keep getting you further. So just continue to be true, the true you know, like, and show it to the people.
I'm not even gonna lie, like, there's some people, like, you saying that, sometimes during the videos, like, I'll try to do that, but, like, I just can't even do it. Like, some people that I watch, they get, like, really loud and really aggressive, and I'll go to, like, try to get loud, and then I'll see everybody around me, and I'm like,
doesn't feel like me when I do that. Yeah, I'm sure you don't feel that way.
It's only, like, there's very few times where, like, I feel getting loud is, like, the answer, and normally what I'll try to do for that is what I see as, like, kind of like the call to action, like, because I notice that reaches me, like, when I watch other people, like, when they're going fine, but then, like, at the very end of the video, like, if they're like, this is what you need to do, like, to help yourself, because, like, I feel like that's what pushed me across the line. That's where I'll get louder. Like, you need to take action now, take action today, and they'll start to get louder, and they'll be like, do it, like, get off the couch, do it right now. And, like, they'll get really loud when they do it. And, like, that, like, it triggers. I'm like, shoot, like, I need to get off the couch right now.
Nice.
That's, like, the time. And then the other thing is talking to another person that I did the podcast with, Casey Adams. I was talking about how, like...
What's that name? I'm going to search him real quick.
Yeah, no problem. He does the Build Your Empire events.
Okay. Yeah.
We were talking, and I was saying how, like, a lot of the stuff that I go through, like, that I preach on Instagram, it's not something where, like, and this kid named Vision Rishi, because he's also doing a similar thing. He's actually interning for Gary right now, or working for him. But we were talking about how, like, not trying to place, like, this facade of, like, I already have it all together, like, he already has it all together. It's like everything that I'm teaching is something that, like, I'm trying to practice daily.
Yeah,
I'm trying to work on myself, because, like, I'll catch myself doing stuff, or, like, my mom will be like, because my mom's, like, one of my greatest supporters. Like, sometimes she doesn't always think of, like, the way that I think of things, or, like, the way I'll preach things, but she'll be like, okay, that's close, but, like, these people that you're watching, like, this is what they're doing, and this is what they're doing, and they're telling you to do this. So, like, she'll be like, be careful, but she's always like, all right, like, you're telling people to do this, but you're doing this, Jordan. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm catching myself. I'm not gonna do this. So, like, she's helping me.
It's good to have that. It's good to have that person to keep you on track.
Yeah.
Typically, how long are your podcasts or your interviews?
Originally they started off like 15 to 30 minutes, because, like, I was just asking, like, a couple questions, and I was kind of doing it really fast. But some of them have been, like, around an hour, something like that.
Okay.
So my next question, being mindset a big thing in your life, and in order to keep the consistency, a lot of people have daily routines, and they're really important in their life. And I was wondering if you have a daily routine, and if so, what is it and how important is it to you?
Right. When I made, it was really important to have a routine. When I was, making videos consistently, people have this idea that I'm going to make a bunch of videos, I'm going to edit all night, and then I'm going to like upload, I'm going to stock up like 10 videos. But I used this concept for myself was that I would make, I think first it was 2 videos a week, but the schedule would be like this. Let's start from Thursday. Every Thursday I film, edit a little bit, edit all of Friday, and then upload it Saturday morning, or basically Friday night. Then I take a break for Saturday. Like I'll reward myself, because that's important. You need to reward yourself after you accomplish what you did. Mine would be I would go watch a movie. Okay. And then Sunday, I think I would relax Sunday, but then Monday I go film again, edit, then Tuesday, edit, upload it by Wednesday, and then relax, and then Thursday repeat it. So I would do that, and my following kept growing because I have this different idea that other people, like Gary Vee kind of has this idea where upload every day, put something out, one piece of content every day. But for me, I was thinking that I had a different concept of I want people to miss my content. Okay. So I eventually changed it to, after I got traction, I changed it to once a week. Okay. And every time, those videos would go far because it's like they've been waiting for this one video all week, Yeah. So every Saturday, 9 a.m., that's when I would upload a video. So I changed it to every Thursday, record, make a video, Friday edit, and then upload it by Saturday. And the rest of those other days, I would think I would create a product or something. Like I would work on writing my book. I would work on making some clothes, making some audio books, right? Okay. So, but the reason why was because I was thinking, hey, I want people to miss my content. I don't want to bombard them every day because the more it goes out, the less special it is. So then I adjusted myself to do once a week, and then, but now after that, I'm changing. I'm going to start doing I've been doing it, the Gary Vee model, which is, but I do 3 a week. I just repost and then I post some pictures. Yeah. But in the beginning, I think it's important to make people miss your content. It's kind of a different mindset that he had, but that's how my mindset on growing my channel was. I'm going to make people miss me and upload it consistently once a week. And so that was my routine for video creation. Yeah.
Now, for you doing that, because I feel like both of you guys have really cool concepts, because I clearly, as you see, I watch a lot of Gary. I don't know if you can tell that, probably. Yeah. But you had the factor of missing it. When you did that factor of people missing your content, where do you think you were? Because I feel like with me, not that people wouldn't miss my content, but I had this way where I had about 60 videos in a row, and then I kind of got it to where I didn't really I was doing 1 or 2. I took a week off, and now I haven't put content out for a little bit, but I still have content stockpiled. It's just the fact of me getting down to edit it, because I was kind of on a break and I had all my family around, and to me family is the most important, but I'm still trying to push out stuff for other people because this is what I want to do. But where do you think you got to that point where people can actually miss you? Because I noticed people, if if you're in the beginning, people are going to kind of, I feel, start to drop off if like they see like, oh, he only posts like one video like this month. Like, I feel like if you post one video like a week, that will still help your progression. But like for me, I was trying to post one video every day, and I noticed like people were like, oh my God, like you're so consistent. Like I see you pushing out something every day. Like that's the reason why I brought you on the podcast. Like that's the reason why.
That's cool. Well, I think, you know, it different styles, you know, I think different region as well. So make this style, it works for the Western world. Maybe there's so much noise there, I guess. I think maybe in the beginning, because in the beginning I would do like 2 videos a week with some quote pictures as well. My dog. But anyway, what was I saying? I think I should stop here. Hold on.
Okay, no problem.
What was I saying? That's all. All right. So I think that in the beginning, let's say you put out a bunch of music, right?
Yeah.
But then eventually I think some artists wait like a long time before they put out a single, right? Or they put out an album, right? Once they start getting known.
Yeah.
So maybe what I did was I started transitioning to making less content when I felt that okay, I'm already something where people are waiting for my content.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So then once I felt that, I started making less. I transitioned to once a week, and now I do it. And then I even went to once a month.
Okay.
To make it more special.
Yeah.
And now, like sometimes, like I see Prince EA, like he posts content, like new content, like every once in a while now. But that's because, you know, he's already a figure in this space. So I think one of the reasons why I accepted the interview too was because of how you posted consistently. So it says a lot about somebody. So I think you whatever you feel in your heart, maybe if you feel that okay, I have this many followers, maybe I'll do it like every other day or 3 times a week, and then transition to 2 times a week and make people feel like they miss you. I think that's, you know, you can slowly progress to doing that.
Yeah. So you'd say once you feel like you have like your space in that industry, in that field, like people know you, that's where you feel like it's acceptable to go to, okay, like people, I already have enough of a following where people like want to see my videos. Now I can do it where people miss them for a while, like where they have to like anticipate when am I going to post my next video.
Yeah. It's like you basically create novelty.
Yeah.
Your videos seem more special. That was my concept.
Yeah. Okay. So my next thing is, what would be like your number 3 tips for somebody in your industry?
3 tips is
kind of want to also, oh sorry, not to interrupt you, but I kind of want to narrow it down because you're an influencer, but what do you think for like influencer motivational or influencer inspirational?
I see. Okay. Well, we talked about some really important tips already, you know, like the novelty, the authenticity, right? So I won't repeat those things.
Okay.
But tips is, learn things from other cultures.
Okay.
Because if it's inspirational, the weirder the culture is, I think the better, because like the more taboo, the more no one knows about it, the better it is. Because I told stories about Thai culture. You know, I'm engulfed in it. So I told this story that went like 20 million views, got translated like 100 million views for other pages. I told a story about like kintsugi, which is a Japanese philosophy, a broken bowl, where when objects break, they repair it, but then they paint the cracks with gold to show that things with history, things with scars are more beautiful. So the same for human beings, that the more we go through, it doesn't make our life uglier.
Yeah.
It makes our life more beautiful. It gives you character, right? So that video went to Lindsay Lohan. And like after that, other Hollywood people, other celebrities saw it and shared it. And so my tip is to don't stick with the content inside of the space already. Go out, go further, go into like, learn stuff about African stories or cultures, learn about Indian, learn about the Amazon, learn about like Greek, you know, get their ideas. That one is so important because it works too if it's part of your culture, like in your relatives. You know, if you have like Jason Silva is like I think of Spanish descent. He's like, I think he's Mexican, and then he talks about the 3 Mexican deaths.
Okay.
Right? The 3 Mexican deaths.
I've never heard of it.
It's cool. It's like this. The first time you die is when you learn about death. The thought of immortality dies, and you kind of die with it. You feel sad, right? The second time you die is when you actually die.
Okay.
The third time you die is when the last person who remembers your name dies.
Oh, wow.
So, see, that comes from his culture, right?
Yeah.
So if you're Italian, if you're Mexican, if you're, how are you? Yeah, so that's one of my biggest tips is get something from other cultures that is not inside of the inspirational space already. There's so much history in the world. So don't just get what is in American or what is in the mainstream media and repeat it. Learn about Cambodian history, Indonesian, Thai if you like. But so that my videos went viral because of I learned about other cultures that nobody else did.
Okay.
So that is my important tip for inspiration. That's one. I think that's a big one.
Yeah.
Number 2 is that I spent a lot of time looking for good music. You gotta have some good taste in music, right?
Yeah.
I really put time and effort into finding the right song for this right story. Sometimes it would come as I would make the video and listen to it and then figure out what song went with it, playing it and playing the video at the same time.
Okay.
Or sometimes I would hear the music in my head because I did hip hop music. I was in the music industry before, so I would hear the song in my head that went along with what I was saying before I said it. So I mean, like, I knew I wanted this song. What story do I tell with this song? Yeah. So the music is very important, I guess, for inspirational, because for a monotone guy like me, the thing that puts the video, that gives it the highs and the lows and the still, is the music. Yeah. I use that. And I guess the other one would be for an inspirational person. I would just say I would have to go back to authenticity because it's so important. Like just Gary Vee talks about it. We talked about it already. If you're a shy guy, you can be shy in front of the camera. You don't have to act overconfident. You know, if you're serious and monotone and you don't really show facial expressions, that's okay. Just be that. Like, I see someone that does that, inspirational Instagram person, that author. Her name is Najwa.
Okay.
Evian, she always makes these videos about heartbreak and poetry. She writes poetry. If you see her videos, her face is so still, and it's just like no facial expression changes. It's rare to see her change.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a little similar to that, but I actually, since acting, they teach you to use your face more.
Yeah.
But she talks monotone, like face is still, like if the person that doesn't love you anymore, doesn't want, and then her face is just still, I think she's just being herself.
Yeah.
So I think people should just do what feels most comfortable for yourself when you're on camera. And I have a tip for that.
Okay.
Is that I would record myself every day, but not edit it, not upload it. And eventually you get to the point where you're so bored of the camera that you're not like shy in front of it anymore, or you don't have any anxiety in front of the camera. You do it until you get so bored of it. And then eventually you start to just be yourself, I think.
Yeah. I tried vlogging for a week, man. That was the most uncomfortable thing ever. And like, I'd be places and I'd be walking around with the camera and I'd just be like talking to it and people would be looking at me and I'd be like, it already feels uncomfortable to make yourself like talk in front of people, but then making it look like you're talking to yourself in front of a bunch of people, like that's like the most uncomfortable thing ever. And like to keep doing it until like, because there is this point where you do it in the beginning, probably like I feel like the first 40 or more videos where like you feel really uncomfortable in front of the camera and like you don't want to post that because you look really uncomfortable. Like,
yeah.
I have a couple YouTube channels and one of them, like I watch myself, I'm like, oh God, like.
I have that.
It's normal.
Yeah. So I have this trick where, you know how they say, it's in my next book I'm writing called Influencer, how I went from 0 to like 3 million followers in a year or two. I call it 3, 2, 1. You know, they say 3, 2, 1 action, right? 3, 2, 1 action. But mine is 3, 2, 1 be yourself. 3, 2, 1, don't try to act in front of the camera. You just be you. I know that doesn't work for everyone, but some people, you know, when they get in front of the camera, what annoys me so much is that they'll be talking to you calmly. Yeah. And then this is how they actually talk. And then they go like, okay, let's film something. And then they go, hey, here we are with blah, blah, blah. And then I don't like that. Personally. But I understand why that's necessary sometimes, right? But for a personal brand, for inspiration, you know, I think being yourself is the key. Like Gary Vee, I think he's always like, I'm not too sure, but I think he always is like, hey guys, what's up? You know what I'm saying? And with his squeaky voice, always going crazy in front of the camera. I like that guy, you know?
Yeah.
And then I think, you know, Dan Pena always cusses, you know?
Yeah.
Because he was in the military, you know, at the time. I think that Dan Locke is really, like, he's himself. Yeah. He acts more calmer, but he still says some bad words. So I think people can feel authenticity oozing out of the camera, I feel. So that is like the most important thing to me. So the concept is 3, 2, 1, be yourself, not 3, 2, 1, act. Okay?
Yeah. That's one thing where I'd have to say where like I'm
do it. Yeah,
so what we were talking, I think we were talking about, I was saying how sometimes when I get into like a video, I'll put a little bit more enthusiasm into it, which sometimes like on camera, like you can't even tell that I'm putting enthusiasm into it, and just like my movement, because like a lot of the stuff that I'll do, it will be like, I'll write down like a sentence, right? And I'll be like, okay, seasons in life, which is like one of the ones I'm going to do. But then like, I'll just be walking and then like, I'll just start going, and whatever goes to my head, or like what I've been thinking about, or when I thought about that, whatever came to my mind then, And that's why I'll do like 2 or 3 videos, but I'll throw in like a little bit more enthusiasm. And not trying to be like less authentic, but like it's like the point of like I know who I am and I know like how I've been reached. So I kind of try to pump myself up a little bit rather than like, because authenticity works 100%, but I feel like there's different layers to it. It's like if I'm going to talk, like I need to talk and say things that come from my heart and like the authentic way that I do, but it might not necessarily me like be doing my videos sitting on the couch like, hey guys, what's up? Like I'm here today. This is what I'm doing. I'm going to talk about this. This is very important. This is how you do this. This, like, I might need to put that little bit, hey, what's up, guys? So today I'm talking about how you can do this. And the way you can do this is blah, 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 blah. Like, yeah. And that's for me, like, I feel like I need to put a little bit more into it because I feel like my voice is already kind of like, I don't know. I just feel like I need to put that little bit into it.
Mm-hmm. I see. Yeah, Bill, I think if you're not the type of person you never really speak like, hey guys, like lazy, you know? But there's this thing in the comedian, the comedy world where it's like it takes you a long time to find your voice. And yeah. I've been listening to stand-up comedians, and they all have their own style, you know? But the one I always found interesting is the boring one. It's like, hey guys, so last night I went to a strip club or, you know, something. And then the way they say it is kind of like, I think that's how they feel most comfortable talking. So I guess whatever you feel most comfortable, make sure that you feel comfortable when you're talking that way. Yeah. Because the most it feels like kind of like fake or you're trying, then oh man, people can see it. They can see that you're trying. Yeah. And the last thing before, like this is like an hour and a half, right? But so the last thing before I gotta go buy food for my girlfriend because she has a fever. Okay. But I think the one of the most important things is when you do these type of contents, right? Yeah. The spiritual side of it, you know, we talked about the mindset, we talked about the social skills, we talked about the consistency for success, right? But the spiritual side to this, me is you got to do it for something bigger than yourself. And I feel that, you know, one day I looked up in the sky. I was like 19 years old it was nighttime. I was looking at the stars and I said, what do you want me to say? Like, what do you want me to do? Like, I'll say whatever it is that you want me to say in this world, you know? And I was into meditation at that time. And then I realized that when you meditate, you can, if you go deep, you can connect to your inner self, your true self. Some people would say it like your soul. Some people would say it's your connection to the divine. To me, I feel like I just connected to my soul, my true self. And I realized that, okay, I'm not the body. I'm actually this spirit, this soul inside of a body. And you connect to that. And then you kind of, you know, the soul is really wise. So you kind of get like this higher intuition when you actually meditate. Like to reach this, you don't always have to meditate. You could do it through like yoga poses. You could do it through there's so many ways to reach this connection to the inner voice, right? So I realized that if my intention is to take people to meet their soul, their inner voice, or connect to the divine, connect to the universe, they will help. You know, like the higher powers in this world will help me. The higher, if you want to call it frequencies, will help me become more influential to take people to meet it. You know, it's kind of like you have this. It would be like if you like angels help you in Thai. It's like angels help you to accomplish what you want to accomplish, because in the end they're going to be able to meet the angels as well. It's kind of like a weird Thai saying, but yeah, man. So the intention to help the world will actually help you get to where you want to get while making inspirational content. That's like the most important one to me.
That's fire. I was literally going to ask you, like, because there's like this 3-part question that I do where I'm like, what's your dream? What's your number one piece of life? And what's your number one piece of life advice? And then like any shout outs that you want to give. But I feel like that was like such a good like piece of life advice right there.
Thanks, man. If anyone is interested, the last thing I'd like to say is actually how to, this is kind of crazy because this kind of knowledge isn't really out in the world, but it's out here in Thailand where we meditate. So so it's basically, there's 3 levels of meditation, right?
Okay.
The first one is like regular attention, like, okay, we're talking, right? And then my dog barks and I'm looking at over there. That's like the least attention that I could have. That's only step 1. So, but with the breath. So when you meditate, you focus on the breath. You tell yourself to breathe in, breathe out, then you breathe out, right? So that's, you have a certain attention to that, and then something will happen, and then you lose attention. And then you come back to the breath. That's the first one. The second level is a deeper attention to your breath. And then the third one is full attention on your breath. And there's 5 attributes to see whether you have full attention on your breath, right?
Okay.
5 things will happen. So 1 is that you're aware of the breath always, 100%. Like you and me are engaged in this conversation, nothing else exists. The more the conversation goes on, the more we're so engaged that nothing else really matters.
Yeah.
That's 1, right? And then 2, I'll just do this. That's 1. This is 2. 2 is that you kind of become one with the breath. You become one with the breath. You're not even thinking about it. You're just going with it. You're not commanding yourself to breathe anymore. You're just going with it.
Yeah.
The third one is when it starts to get a little weird, and a lot of people will start to feel this, but some people skip the third. So some people will start to shake. Some people start to feel like there's ants all over their body. Some people start to feel like they're getting really big. Some people feel really small. Some people start to cry a little bit.
Okay.
Like this body sensation. So the third step is body sensation. The fourth one is that once you go with it, like just go with it. Like it's itchy, or you let it go. If you're shaking, shake. Don't stop yourself, because once you get through that, you go through this stage of where you start to get really happy. It's above happiness. It's like it feels so good once you get past the body sensation part, because that is like, I guess your soul, or some people say it's not your body shaking, it's like your soul is like being awakened, it's shaking. Feel good. The fifth one, after you feel good, the fifth one, you'll just feel nothing. You'll feel still. You kind of feel like you're not even a body anymore. You kind of like, some people won't feel their hands anymore. They don't feel their body. They kind of even forget about the breathing.
Yeah.
And I say when you get to this stage, some people, what happened to me, I've gotten to the 5th stage, but not long. I got to it, and then I was like, what's going on? And then as soon as I say what's going on, you have to start all over again.
Yeah.
Breath, you got to start to shake, do the shake. I shake a little bit. I just go back and forth a little bit.
Yeah.
So the 5th one is, that one, they say you can stay in that state for, on average, 7 days. Like they say people can just meditate, no restroom, no eating, drinking for 7 days.
Wow.
There's people that say they've seen it. Sadhguru, he's a famous guy. His story is that he meditated one time and outside, and then he opened his eyes. It was 7 days later, and he had flowers like on his around him, and people were like praying to him because he was there for such a long time.
Crazy.
Pretty famous YouTube guy, Sadhguru.
Okay.
And so basically, I don't know if that's true, but I have to try it myself. So I'm gonna do that really soon. Is I'm gonna go practice. Like I usually meditate near a waterfall, but I'm gonna go to this cave, and I'm gonna see if I could just do it. I'm just gonna start morning till night without having to eat, drink, or go to the restroom.
Okay.
I'll get back to you if I can do it for like 2 days.
For sure. I wanna keep in contact.
Yeah, man. Anyone interested in meditation, that's how you do it. Focus on the breath and go through these 5 attributes, the 5 steps that I told you.
So just to leave off, what's your number one dream or goal? And then like that you were sent here to do on this planet, and then just shout outs to anything you want people to check out that you have out there.
All right. So my first goal was I wanted to give a speech like Martin Luther King.
Okay.
To say something to the world, impact the world. I feel like I did that through my videos. I did it to the point where I was invited to meet the Dalai Lama in Dharamsala, and that's not easy to do.
Yeah.
And so I felt accomplished in that sense. I didn't have any goals for the longest time because I felt like I accomplished it. My next goal was to help the people around me or anyone I saw with potential reach their goals. So I have a coffee shop, and that coffee shop has this barista that he competes. He loves it so much, and that's his dream. Check. Another one is this guy that makes these really cool pants. He sells it like he gets like say $300 a night, but in Thailand that's a lot, man. You get $300 a night at least. But he doesn't sell it online. He sells it at the market. But he's an influencer with 500,000 followers, but his pants sold before he got famous. So he needs a team to do online, so I'm helping him do that, like sell it online, create a team. I'm just helping people reach their goals, and then I enjoy that. But for my New Year's, what I realized after meditating, people went out to party for New Year's. I don't mind that. I did that before. Yeah. But this year I took my team, like 12 of us. We went to a waterfall in the mountains in Thailand, and we just meditated across the year from like 11 to 1 a.m.
Cool.
Everyone got revelations. Everyone got wisdom. They had nice experiences, like some even supernatural experiences. Yeah. We meditated at this place, and some people say, "Oh, you can meditate at your house." That's true, but you don't receive the energy from the nature, and you don't, up there's no Wi-Fi, there's no cell phone reception, there's nothing to interfere with your mind. There's no lights, nothing, no electronics. That helps you go deeper into meditation. That's why the people that meditated years ago, thousands of years ago, they meditated in caves. Super quiet, super dark, nothing can distract you. And you're kind of forced to just sit there and meditate. So we all went up there, we meditated, and I realized that, and the next day I met like this guru, and he was teaching me in Thai about all of these things, those 5 steps. It's really, the way he explained it to me was extremely difficult with this hard vocabulary that like you have to translate it. And then I realized my life's purpose now is to translate these texts into simple and easy things that can be taught to the whole world. So that is what I feel that the world wants me to do now, is help people reach their soul, connect to themselves, their inner voice, to their divine, and through that you can accomplish your goals just by connecting to that, because you have a higher intuition and you'll have this inner voice guiding you and helping you throughout your journey. So I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do, help people connect.
That's awesome.
Helps in the divine now.
So where can anybody check you out? What's some shout outs you want to give? I think you have a book, if I'm not mistaken.
I have a book named 51 Weapons of the Wise.
Okay.
It's I think I think I almost actually I shouldn't say how much money I made from that book. It's and I guess that's not important, right? But
It's up to you.
it was a book. It was a book that I thought you had to be old to write a book.
Yeah.
My girlfriend encouraged me and said like, no, you don't have to be old. Like these are just limiting beliefs that you have to be old to teach people. You have to be old to write a book. And then so yeah, I wrote my own book about all of my life experiences. 51 rules to life basically. So it's 51 weapons of the wise. Like when I used to fight Muay Thai, I took moving schools. So I realized that turning my body into a weapon wasn't the right thing. I had to turn my mind into a weapon. That's why it's called 51 Weapons of the Wise.
Okay. That's awesome.
You want to turn your mind into a weapon? Read that book.
Okay. And then just your Instagram, your where people can keep in contact to see your videos or try to get in touch with you via social media.
Yeah, it's my YouTube, Facebook, Instagram is all the same name, Sean, spelled Sean, and my last name is long. Buranahiran, Buranahiran. But if you type Bura, I'm sure it will come up.
All right, man. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I'm going to end the call.